Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is another podcast of Beyond Click and Cliff, and we're on My Christmas Story Part 4, and this will wrap up the Christmas story. Now, I know today is Christmas Eve. As a kid, I was so excited for this day because I knew tomorrow was Christmas, and I tell you what, my anxiety was through the roof. Now picture this. You see these in movies. Morning time, kids running down the stairs to a Christmas tree full of presents, and they jump on mom and dad in bed, waking them up and wanting to go down there and open them gifts. Well, that wasn't me. That was not me at all. Because I always finagled my way to open the gifts on Christmas Eve. And we were always like that. My Christmas Eve, because Christmas Day we were busy. My parents wanted to sleep in so we can go to our families. We just had to get up and do chores, and then when we get done with chores, we'd go to the families and have lunch and hang out there all day into the evening. So Christmas Day wasn't usually the day I opened gifts. So Christmas Eve, I would get to go open my gifts. Boy, I tell you what, all day, I'll be like a broken record to my parents. Can I open them yet? No, you gotta wait till tonight after dinner. All day. How about one? No. How about just one small one? No. My parents would not allow me to do that. So, yeah, the anxiety of that day was tremendous for me. I wanted to get that gift, and I wanted it open. I wanted to open it now. I had to wait. So, I'm telling you this so I can tell you. I told you that so I can tell you this. When I was a littler, I still opened my gifts on Christmas Eve, but there's always something from Santa on Christmas morning. Now, it was always maybe one gift, but it was the biggest gift. Like, I remember getting my first bicycle on Christmas Day. I think I got a TV on Christmas Day. Something that was worth, when I opened, I mean, I'm not saying none of it was worth nothing, but like the night before would be my clothes that they got me, cologne, whatever, little kid toys and stuff like that. That's what I would get on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, I would get something, pretty sufficient, and that was just one gift. So, this one Christmas, I think I was 15 or something like that. I think I was younger than that. I think I was like 10 years old, 11, 12, somewhere in that area. I can't remember when. I'm getting old. But this is when my mom said, well, you're getting to the age now you don't get toys. I'm like, what? I don't get my G.I. Joes or whatever, Transformers or whatever was hip that day or that year. So I opened up my gifts. I got jeans, shirts, socks. I'm like, I could have got this any other day, not Christmas. But anyway, I was still happy with what I got. Now they did give me some other, I think I was into baseball cards. They went and got me some baseball cards. They got me stuffed, I think I was working on my truck at that time, so they got me some stuff like seat covers for my truck and stuff like that. So it wasn't bad, but I'm like, well, I still got Christmas Day. So I opened up my gifts, had a good old time like I usually do, and then went to bed content because I got to open some gifts and I was content. So I went to bed, went to sleep. Got up in the morning. I said, I wonder what's underneath the tree. Walked down there. Absolutely nothing. Like, the shock on my face is like, every year, what's going on? So I sat in the chair there in the living room just kind of thinking. My dad walks in. He tells me good morning, Merry Christmas and all that. And he proceeds to go fix his coffee like he does every morning. He gets himself prepared for the day. He tells me what we're going to be doing that day. And the same thing, he got us coffee. So we got to get these chores done so we can go over to my grandma and grandpa's for Christmas dinner and all that. And I said, okay, cool. And he looked at me and goes, what's wrong with you? I said, you know, me, I like nothing. He goes, okay. And I went in there. I grabbed me a cup of coffee. I was drinking coffee back then, so I grabbed me a cup of coffee out of the coffee pot. Sit down at the kitchen table with him, start drinking coffee. And I asked him, I said, I got a question. He goes, what's that? And I go, every year I got some on Christmas Day. He goes, well, you shouldn't open it up Christmas Eve. You should have waited till this morning to open your gifts. I'm like, but Dad, every year you always get me some big on Christmas Day. He goes, well, you're getting to the age now, son, that, you're going to start buying what you want with your own money. And I'm like, oh, tell my dad, it's Christmas. And he just kept drinking his coffee and I think it was, he used to play these handheld games. I don't know, not Game Boys, but they were like one game and he played, it was solitaire. He'd play that as he was drinking his coffee every morning. So he'd play that, and I just sat there, drink coffee, just chit chatted with him. When got, then I got up and went and got, dressed for the day to go out and do the chores and stuff like that. So I got dressed, went out there, and my mom was just waking up at the time we were walking out the door, and she told me the same thing, Merry Christmas. I said, yeah, Merry Christmas to you. She was, what's wrong with you? And I guess me being only child, this is what I'm saying when you take stuff for granted. Okay, remember a few episodes back I said take stuff for granted. Well, this is where I took it for granted. Like I was gonna get something on Christmas Day, and I kind of told Mom the same thing, and she goes, well, I don't know, maybe you weren't good this year. I thought to myself, what do you mean I wasn't good this year? I did everything I asked without saying a word. Anyway, went on outside, done my chores, and then we got back into the house to take our what we call chore clothes, like our old clothes that probably got dirty and stuff out there doing chores, and got cleaned up, and we got on the better clothes to go out to Grandma and Grandpa's for the day. Got in the vehicle, we went over there. I was still in a good mood. I was still in a good mood. We went to my grandma and grandpa's. Got out of the car. I walked in the house. There was a truck sitting there. I didn't know whose truck it was. So I sat there. Came in. I go. I didn't say nothing much. I just saw it out there. I thought, well, Grandma went and got on the truck or something to drive around. Cool. I walked in there, sat on the couch, talking to my cousins and other family. Of course, we were telling what we got for Christmas and, what we did that, So, we went and we ate. It was dinner time, so we gathered around the table, had our Christmas dinner. Good food always. Mom and Grandma always made homemade chicken and noodles, or chicken and dumplings, and everything was scratch, homemade. The noodles were scratch made. I mean, everything was homemade. I've not tasted any today that came close to my grandma's. But we sat there and ate, had a good time. Got up and we went and sat down on TV. We're starting to watch. We want to watch a Christmas movie. So that's what we did. We sat down there, and my grandpa looked over at me. He said, he just called me. He always called me boy. Even though I was his grandkid, he knew my name. Hey, boy. I go, yeah. He goes, I need you to go run to the store for me. I'm like, I'm only like 13. He goes, well, I'll go with you. Okay, so we got in the truck. We got in that truck, right? He told me, you drive. I said, Grandpa, if we get caught, I'm gonna get a ticket, and you could be put in jail or something. I can't drive in town. I drove. Now, I did drive all over the county roads at the house, driving up and down the roads in the fields. I knew my way around a vehicle, how to drive. So, but he insisted, so I got in the driver's seat, turned it on. Sweet truck. It was awesome. It was a Chevy S10. And so, got in, drove it. And I go, Grandpa, there ain't no store open. You know, it's Christmas. And we live in a smaller town where everything's shut down for Christmas and Thanksgiving. There's no store open. You're lucky the hospital was open. But we drove. I said, well, when did you get this? And he goes, well, an old boy brought this to me the other day, and I just sat in my driveway. I don't know. He just gave me the keys and said, here's a truck. And I looked at my grandpa like, oh, I wish that would happen to me. Well, that nurse my, I'm like, oh, anyway. We went around. I said, well, there ain't no store open, Grandpa. I'll just go back to the house, watch the movie. Because I'm sure we're going to be leaving in a little bit to go back home and do our evening chores and then go to my other grandma and grandpa's for dinner or supper or whatever. He said, okay. So we drove it back to grandpa's house, got out, and I handed him the keys. He goes, no, put it in your pocket. That truck's yours. Merry Christmas. I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I bought that for you for Christmas. You're getting ready to turn 16 and you need a truck to drive so I can have some great grandchildren. You know, he had that sense of humor. And I'm like, hey, that is not going to happen anytime soon. But that's what he did, and he gave it. I was shocked. I was flabbergasted. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I walked in the house. I told Dad, I said, Grandpa just gave me this truck. And Maggie goes, he did. I wish he'd given one to me. Dad knew. He had to know. He had to know. That's what I got. Well, needless to say that I just couldn't. That's one Christmas I won't ever forget. Because bought me a truck. A truck. That's awesome. I was all excited. I was like, man. And see, that's the thing. I got seat covers in Christmas from my parents. Now, I had a truck that I was tinkering on, and I thought that's what that was for, to put over that old ratted out seat that I had in that truck. I go, Dad, so this other truck goes, well, either you can still work on it, or we can use that as a farm truck. So we used it as a farm truck. But it was one of the best Christmas. And and as I got older, looking back, I'm thinking to myself, my grandpa was a man of poorness. He didn't have a lot of money. And don't get me wrong, that S10 wasn't brand new. It was used. But it was a good running truck. And I went through the rest of high school in that truck. And I wish I kept that truck. But I didn't. I traded it in on a new one later on in life. But I wish I kept it now. But then, of course, we got home. I was so excited. And my mom goes, well, you got to go to my mom and dad's now. I'm like, what? Okay, sweet. Maybe they're going to get me a four-wheeler or something. No, that wasn't the case. We went and had dinner, and I got, I think, some more clothes. But, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, at that age, you know, I took stuff for granted. Like, hey, now I'm more into giving, like I said before. But, so, but I was young back then. Now, come to think about it, I should have just been happy with what I got. And that's what my message is now, even to my daughter. Is, you know, it may not be much, but it's something that we thought about getting you, and enjoy it. Because trust me, when you get older in life, the little things that you got from, especially your grandparents, and if they're not around no more, it's something that you get to keep. Guys, that's going to be it for today's podcast. Hope you enjoy it. I want y'all to have a Merry Christmas out there tomorrow, and or Happy Holidays. But I want you to have a good Christmas, spend time with your family, and all that good stuff. Alright, guys, and always be good to each other, pay it forward, be nice. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.